One of the most requested videos on this channel is ranking all the speedsters by how fast they are, which I have never done because it's not an easy thing to do. It's not easy to quantify how fast these characters are going or how fast they can go potentially. It's very inconsistent on the show. Sometimes the Flash can run almost at light speed like an Enter Flash time. A couple episodes later, he can't catch the villain of the week who runs at the speed of a regular human being when they are running away from the scene. So it's very inconsistent for those characters. It's also, there are certain characters who barely appeared, like Accelerator Man or like Blitzkrieg, who only appeared for like a scene or two, and it's not easy to quantify their speed either. But what I did here in this video is just basically what I think the list would look like based off their feats on the shows, based off how like certain characters beating other characters in a race or a fight scene. That is going to be considered for this list. But if it turns out that a couple characters who are maybe near the bottom of the list are faster than characters from near the top of the list, and I wouldn't be surprised because it's not easy to quantify the speed of these characters. But anyway, let's begin this list with number 15. The only speedster I'm not counting is Oliver Queen, because I don't really know where to put him on the list, because does he have the speed of the Flash? Is it based off his experience? I don't know, so I just decided not to count him.
Tractor down on Earth 2. Breach was taken care of.
Thank you.
Now, I almost didn't include the Accelerator Man because he has such a small amount of screen time. We've seen him run in two separate scenes. Both times, we didn't really get to see how fast he was. For all intents and purposes, I'm going to put him at the bottom of the list because of the fact that he's never had any feats in any of these shows. So I guess just based off that, he's the slowest. Now, there is a theory that he is very, very, very fast because his lightning is purple. And in the comics, the closer you are to purple in color with the lightning, at least for Speed Force users, the faster you are. But that lightning thing isn't canon in the comics. It's just a theory of a writer, and also in the show it's very clearly not a thing. So because of that, Accelerator Man is going to be at the bottom of the list, and again, I almost didn't count him at all.
This to yourself, and now all of you will perish.
The Earth 90 Flash comes from a different era from the speedsters we've seen on The Flash. He comes from the 90s show where the technology was way more limited and the budget was way lower, so he just didn't look very good when he was running, and also he didn't look like he was running very fast at all. He didn't generate lightning, meaning that he probably wasn't running anywhere near the speed as the rest of these characters. Now, the reason he didn't generate lightning is because they just couldn't afford that CGI-wise, and I'm pretty sure he did generate lightning when he appeared a couple of 20 years later in Elseworlds, but based off what we've seen with the character, he's just not as fast as most speedsters in the Arrowverse, so it's going to be pretty low on the list.
I'm going to enjoy killing you most of all.
Blitzkrieg has only ever appeared in Freedom Fighters The Ray, which is already very, very limited in its screen time, so he's only ever been in like 2 scenes, so again, there isn't really much to go off for this character, but the scenes we see him in the fight against the Ray and the fight against Cisco of that universe, it doesn't look like he's going very fast. The animation is fairly limited, and because of that, he looks like he's going slower than most speedsters on this list, so I just decided to put him lower on the list. Iris had speed for 1 episode, and it was clear in that episode that she didn't really get the speed that the Flash had, and she was just, being new to her power, she was a lot slower than the Flash was at the time in the season, and because of that, she's going to be a lot lower than the Flash, but also, just based off what we've seen on the show, in this episode at least, she didn't really seem that fast, at least not as fast as some other speedsters in this list. The rival was pretty much equal to the Kid Flash of the Flashpoint timeline at the time, and it was only because of the Flash or Barry Allen's interference that they were able to defeat the rival. Other than that, however, I feel like the rival and Kid Flash were pretty much equal, and the only reason I'm putting Kid Flash higher than the rival is because the rival was just, he's only ever appeared in 2 episodes, while Kid Flash has had a lot more experience over the years, I guess, since he appeared. So I guess because of that, I'm gonna put Kid Flash a little higher.
You're gonna want to hold on.
See ya.
Wally West is certainly nowhere near as fast as the Flash in Season 3, but obviously after, in Season 4, after Barry got out of the Speed Force, got an enhancement of speed, Kid Flash didn't get anywhere near, which is different from the comics because, or maybe it's not really different, but in the comics, Wally West is typically faster than Barry Allen, but as Kid Flash, he wasn't. He had some sort of mental block, so I guess this still fits, and also this is kind of a different Wally West, who isn't anywhere near as fast as Barry Allen, but Kid Flash, I think, in the Arrowverse isn't anywhere near as fast as the Flash, and also not as fast as certain other speedsters in the Arrowverse, just based off what we've seen so far.
FRB. Surround.
Lightning. It's turning blue.
Trajectory was almost as fast as Zoom at the time, and is actually faster than the Flash as well at the time, but obviously nowhere near as fast as the Flash would be now, and also her body wasn't actually able to take that speed as she did disintegrate, but because of the speed she had in that episode, because of the V9, I'm going to put her a lot higher than the characters we've seen so far, but lower than certain other characters who also took V9 and went maybe a little faster, but also their body was able to take it.
I am a god. The god of speed.
Go, 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 go!
There's a scene in the Godspeed episode where he runs past a trillion frames per second camera and you could barely see him, which is an insane speed feat that would put him very, very high on the list. But later in the episode, he's defeated by XS, and that's what I'm talking about with the speed inconsistencies. What do I go off of? His top speed ever, or his most consistent speed, which is, I guess, being defeated by XS means he's not as fast as XS, who XS isn't really all that fast at all. So because of that, I thought that I'd put Godspeed lower than wherever XS would be put, and XS is at number 7. XS is certainly not as fast as the Flash as we've seen in a couple scenes in Season 5, and the only way she was really able to keep up is if Barry either slowed down for her, or if she was her rewind powered. She's certainly pretty fast. I mean, she could time travel with ease, she can phase, but she's definitely not as fast as every other speedster going forward in this list, but she's also faster than Godspeed because she did beat him in a fight, and Godspeed was able to run very, very fast in that camera scene, so maybe I should put XS way higher, but I just decided that this would be a good place for her on the list. Zoom was a lot faster than the Flash for most of Season 2, but by the end Barry was able to outspeed him and be a lot faster just because he gained a lot more speed and became a lot faster himself. But Zoom is still very, very, very fast. We saw his reappearance in Season 5 where he was able to catch up to XS. He was also able to catch up to the Flash, but only because the Flash slowed down for Nora Allen, but he was able to catch up to XS, so I think he's faster than XS, and the only reason he wasn't able to kill them, or I guess XS, is because the Time Wraith was there and got him out of there, but I'm going to put him a little higher than XS because I think he would have been able to catch up to her and probably kill her if he wanted to.
Flash?
Flash. Here, put these on.
Jay Garrick would be a lot lower on the list had he not appeared in Enter Flash Time, because before that episode he never really had any crazy feats of speed, but in that episode, considering he was in Flash Time moving at regular speed as well as in super speed, although he didn't last for very long, he was technically running at the same speed as Barry, and that means he was running almost at the speed of light. Now, I've heard people say that this means that he's running slower than Barry because he wasn't there in the Flash Time as long, but that doesn't make any sense. I mean, if that was true, then he would seem like he was going in slow motion while Barry is going in regular motion in that speed. But since he's going at the same speed as Barry, that means, although he's not capable of being in Flash Time for as long, he technically ran almost at the speed of light, so he's going to be very, very high on the list. And the same thing is true for Jesse Quick.
Quick to learn.
Jessie was in Flash Time for a little bit longer than Jay Garrick, meaning that she is maybe not faster, but definitely capable of running at that speed for a longer, but this means that she was running almost at the speed of light, and because of that, she's going to be a lot higher on the list than you might have expected, because before this episode, she didn't really seem like she was anywhere near as fast as the Flash, or really any villain that would ever appear in the show, but it seems like she technically is a lot faster than most speedsters, and one of the fastest speedsters on the show, and also a little bit faster than Jay, or at least is capable of running at that speed for a little bit longer. Sabotage was a lot faster than Barry was in Season 3 of The Flash, and a lot faster than any speedster that appeared. He just beat up Jay Garrick very easily, and I doubt Jay Garrick really got that much faster between Season 3 and 4, because I think he's been a speedster for a very, very long time, and I doubt he'd really get that much faster between those two seasons, but then again, he did spend some time in the Speed Force, so maybe he did, but it's pretty clear that Sabotage is faster than Jay, he's faster than Kid Flash, and was faster than the Flash at the time, but the Flash has gotten a lot faster since, so he's going to be lower than the Flash. But also, I'm pretty sure this is a Sabotage. This is a Barry Allen that never went into the Speed Force. Just going off the timeline, it wouldn't really make much sense. Although he definitely was present during Season 4 of The Flash in his timeline, I don't think he was as fast as the Flash was in that season and like after that. So because of that, I'm not going to put him as high as Barry Allen, aka the Flash, even though they're the same person. They technically are different enough to be different on this list. Black Flash is supposed to be the death for speedsters because he's the only being of death that is capable of running up to the speedsters and catching them. In this universe, he's a little different. He's just an agent for the Speed Force, but still, he has to be fast enough to catch the speedsters, and I think there's only really like a speedster or two that is able to outrun him. Every speedster we've seen so far on this list is not capable of doing so, so Black Flash, I think, is going to be number 2 on this list, but if you can't already tell, number 1 is going to be a tie. Both the Flash and the Reverse Flash are the fastest speedsters in the Arrowverse. They are technically the exact same speed as each other. That wasn't really true in Season 1 or 2, but recently it seems like they're doing that thing where they are always at the same speed, and one of them is never faster than the other. Barry has been able to run almost at the speeds of light, and he was running at that speed for a very, very long time, a lot longer than Jesse Quick and Jay Garrick. Reverse Flash is at the same speed as him, so they are both definitely the fastest speedsters in the Arrowverse, which is fitting because the Flash is the namesake of the show. He is the main character, and it makes sense that he would be the fastest, and also Reverse Flash is the main villain and main antagonist of the show, so it makes sense that he would be equally as fast, and both of these characters would be the fastest speedsters in the Arrowverse. So anyway, that is it for this list. Let me know what you think the list is in the comments down below. If you think I maybe got something wrong, or if you think something should be different, let me know in the comments. If you like this video, make sure to leave a like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.